in 9 days, this is all going to change. We are going to be in a very different era in terms of crypto. This is huge for SHIB. This is huge for alts. For those who aren't familiar, we are 9 days away from the Bitcoin halving. It's actually supposed to happen sometime either on April 19th or April 20th. It all depends on the block height. But this transition from the pre-halving time to the post-halving time is a big one because this is when we start to see bigger retail adoption. Now, first and foremost, I have said for a long time that this very much resembles the halving, the cycle that we went through back in 2016. In fact, you guys can see in 2016, we went through a very similar period of consolidation, sideways trading, up even through the time of the halving. We didn't get a catalyst that really moved us one way or the other. We finally got a drop actually at the beginning of August. Okay, so that was like 3 weeks post halving. Now, the thing is we're doing something a little different this time. Yes, we're consolidating, but we're in more of a bullish trend than anything. We're in a bull pennant. BTC is trying to break out of the top. Shiba Inu is in a great formation approaching the halving here as well. And this may be one of those weird times where, because we're doing things differently, we may not experience that drop around the time of the halving. In fact, this may have been our drop right here, right? This drop in terms of BTC as well. That may have been it. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But what is great about these post-halving times for alts, Shiba Inu, is that we know now that retail is the big driver of SHIB. It is what moves SHIB price the most. It's the reason why, again, when we saw some of this early retail entering the space, we went on this massive pump to the upside. But retail doesn't continually flock into the space until you get into alt season, until you get to these post-halving times. Now, I'm not saying we're going to hit the hard line April 20th, boom, that's when retail adoption is high and heavy and flowing like crazy. It's going to take some buildup. It does take time for that positive sentiment around crypto to really get solidified. Right now, we're still kind of in that mix. You know, we've seen some retail enter early, the people that want to get in and be early adopters. That's awesome. Welcome to Shiba Inu, right? But it builds up over time. That's why even along the way, you see periods of pullback, periods of consolidation. We've seen that throughout the charts in the past. You know, even if you look at, let's see, even if you look at last cycle, this is kind of weird because we had that, the banning of crypto in China, which was our black swan event, which brought us down to those levels. But you can see that there are periods along the way where you kind of flatten out, where you consolidate, you go through pullbacks. So we will experience those along the way. That's where we essentially begin to test the waters in terms of retail adoption. Now, the big thing, like I've talked about time and time again, is we are starting to get into mass adoption. This is going to be big for especially things like SHIB, because when you get into mass adoption, that's retail really beginning to take over. And retail assets are the ones that are going to see the biggest impact from this, like Shiba Inu. That's where we can start to make these big upward movements more consistently. Just know that we may kind of fart around in here for a little bit. Maybe we get a nice pump and we bounce around and do one. I don't know, guys, right? There's no telling what things are going to be like. Remember, first time ever that we've broken an all-time high in terms of Bitcoin pre-halving. Maybe the first time ever that we don't have our big pre-halving or around the halving retracement. There may be bigger things that affect us as we move further on into this cycle. You know, we have an FOMC meeting coming at the end of the month as well. So the Fed may change their stance on interest rate decreases. All these factors are going to play some impact in the market. It's just a question of what it's going to be. So get ready, guys. We are approaching some very exciting times. Know that it's still going to be a process. It's going to take time, but it starts to snowball very quickly the further on we move into this cycle. And you're here at really some of the best times in crypto. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. But have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.